This is my student support system. Keep watching, keep learning.
What is tissue? Tissues are the group of cells which perform similar tasks and are similar in size and shape. In human body, we have four types of tissues: epithelial tissue or epithelium, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. Epithelial tissue or epithelium. Epithelial tissue are thin sheets like tissue that cover all the exposed surfaces of the body like skin, mucous membrane. They form the external skin and inner lining of all the oral cavities and other cavities also, digestive tract, secretory glands, the lining of hollow parts of every organ such as heart, lungs, eyes, ear, urogenital tract, as well as ventricular system of brain and central spinal canal of spinal cord. Epithelial tissue or epithelium, in this the cells are closely packed and intercellular substances, that is called matrix, is very less. The cells usually lie on a basement membrane which is an inert connective tissue made by this epithelial cell which are there. Epithelial tissue may again be divided into two types: simple epithelial tissue or stratified epithelial tissue. In simple, there is a single layer of cells, and in stratified, multiple layer of cells are there. Simple epithelial tissue. When the epithelium is composed of a single layer of cell arranged on the basement membrane, it is called simple epithelial tissue. The types of simple epithelial tissue are named according to the shape of cell, which differ according to their function. The more active the tissue, the taller will be the cells. So simple epithelial tissue is further classified in three types depending upon the shape of the cell. First is squamous epithelium, second is cuboidal epithelium, and third is columnar epithelium. So what is squamous epithelium? Squamous means flat. It is composed of a single layer of flattened cells. So here the cells are flat, arranged on basement membrane. So this is basement membrane and this is the layer of cells. The cells fit closely together like tiles and forming a thin and very smooth membrane across which diffusion easily occurs. Means the oxygen, carbon dioxide and some ions, they can easily diffuse. It forms the lining of following structures: the heart, where it is known as endocardium. So inner layer of the heart, it is made up of squamous epithelium. It will be very smooth. Alveoli in the lungs, that is also made of this, so that easy transportation of gases or exchange of gases takes place there. And the lining of collecting ducts of nephrons in the kidney, again there will be easy diffusion or transportation of ions or water. Second is cuboidal epithelium. As the name suggests, cube. So here the cells are like cubes. This consists of cube-shaped cells fitting closely together and lying on basement membrane. So this is basement membrane and cells are lying there. This cuboidal epithelium is actively involved in secretion, absorption and excretion. It forms the kidney tubules and found in some glands. Columnar epithelium. This is formed by a single layer of cell that are rectangular in shape. Here you can see. That's why we call it columnar. On a basement membrane, it lines many organs, means it make the inner layer. Lining means inner layer. It is well suited to a specific function. The lining of the stomach is formed by simple columnar epithelium. Okay, so this is adjusted. They adjust their cell or the shape is slightly changed depend upon where they are situated and what will be the function. So here in the stomach they are simple columnar epithelium, while in the surface of columnar epithelium lining in the small intestine they are covered with microvilli. Okay, so this is columnar epithelium but it is slightly changed. So it is the columnar epithelium having microvilli and they are in the small intestine. They increase the surface area and they help in absorption of the nutrients from small intestine. Then there will be columnar epithelium having cilia. In the trachea, columnar epithelium is ciliated. Okay, what is cilia? They are hair-like structures. Okay, and they continually move. And they also contain goblet cell which secretes mucus. This means that the inhaled particle that stick to the mucus layer are moved towards the throat by cilia in the respiratory tract. So cilia moves continually like this and they move the mucus towards the throat. In the uterine tube, the same type of tissue is there. They propel ovum by the ciliary action towards uterus. Now the second type is epithelial tissue is stratified. Stratified epithelia consists of several layers of cells of various shape. Continual cell division in lower layer pushes cells above nearer and nearer to the surface where finally they shed off. Okay, so lower cells they continue to grow and they move upwards and finally the last layer is removed. That's why the skin, we say the skin is changed continuously. Basement membrane is usually absent in these type of tissue. The main function of stratified epithelium is to protect the underlying structure from the mechanical wear and tear like in the skin and mucous membrane. The stratified epithelium tissue is further classified into two types: stratified squamous epithelium and transitional epithelium. So what are those? These two types we will discuss one by one. Stratified squamous epithelium. This is composed of a number of layers. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of layers are there. And below they are columnar, then they change to cuboidal and finally they become flat. In the deepest layer, the cells are mainly columnar and as they grow towards the surface, they become flat and then finally they shed off. Okay, they go and lower layer come here and they change. Okay, so again new growth is there, new cells are formed and continuously they move upwards and lastly they are removed. This process continues in our whole life. This stratified squamous epithelium again divided into two types. One is keratinized stratified squamous epithelium and one is non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. What is keratinized? Keratinized means in this there is keratin formation. This is a protein that is tough. This is found on the dry surfaces subjected to wear and tear such as skin, hair and nails. The surface layer consists of dead epithelial cells. Just outermost layer, it is made of dead epithelial cell which contains keratin. These form a rough, relatively waterproof protective layer that prevents drying of the live cell which are below. The surface layer of the skin is rubbed off and is replaced from below continuously. Non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium found on wet surfaces subjected to wear and tear. This protects moist surfaces subjected to wear and tear and prevent them from drying out, such as conjunctiva of the eye, the lining of mouth, mucous membrane, pharynx, esophagus, and vagina. Transitional epithelium. This is composed of several layers of pear-shaped cells, and it is found in the lining of urinary bladder, and this allows for stretching as the bladder fills. Here you can see this is non-stretched transitional tissue, and when bladder is full it is stretched like a rubber. Okay, so this is the transitional epithelium.
My student support system. Keep watching, keep learning.